Palantir CEO Alex Karp loves to stick it directly to all of the skeptics, the haters, the people that have been betting against him and Palantir over the last couple of years since they went public. Now, in a recent interview, he did just that, but what's most important about this interview is he dropped a couple of very important breadcrumbs on how he sees this landscape moving forward, specifically with the growth of government revenue. Now, a lot of you guys know that a significant portion of Palantir's revenue does come from the government sector, and that was one of the main reasons why they had drawn down so significantly from the highs that they reached after their earnings. So we're going to be playing this interview clip for you guys here and breaking down everything that you guys need to know. Obviously, we're going to be taking a look at the chart too, because it is starting to look very, very solid, and we're going to be talking briefly about a couple of new contracts that Palantir has as well. So guys, if you guys do enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos here, make sure you guys go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading these videos out to as many people who actually want to learn. Let's see if we can get this one to 500 likes. That's the goal for these videos here. Let's see if we can hit it. And remember, if you guys never want to miss another video like this, make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on notifications so you get notified every single time these videos go live. But without further ado, let's roll the clip and then let's get into it.
You know, Alex, it's interesting you say that because your stock has become something of a proxy for that debate you just talked, the sort of debate that you talk about. And obviously, of late, it's been under a little bit of pressure. Now, I watched really closely last week. The stock had made a really big rebound. And then that evening, Mungo posted their results. One of their highly profitable contracts, apparently with the government, won't be renewed, right? So Doge out there, that same day they showed the wasteful spending at HUD and just how crazy it was. So now the speculation is that Doge will have a negative impact on Palantir, although fans of your company who loved your company long before I did tell me, no, this actually is a positive for Palantir.
Well, look, at Palantir, we're very focused on what will make the West superior. In the commercial space, mainly here on the battlefield. So even if it were for Palantir, I think bad for Palantir, I'd be in favor of it. I mean, how often have critics of Palantir been right? And it's like, look, buying, if you want to reform an institution, whether it's commercial or government or anything, what is the first thing you're going to do? Change the unit economics, make the customer experience better. How are you going to do that realistically in the West? You're going to buy the best software and implement it. Who are you going to buy from? So, I mean, like, and I love that we have all these skeptics. They just can keep on. The skeptics, as annoying as they are, just come out and tell the venture community how much we're going to fail. It's like, but for the somewhat idiotic skeptics of Palantir, we would probably be competing with 50 companies. So please amplify your skepticism. Palantir is very pro-Doge. I'm pro-Doge. I believe it's going to be great for America, and I'm supportive of it. And, read into that what you will.
Right.
But, America's going to become more lethal, more economically strong, and we're participating in that, and we're thrilled. And again, on the non-Doge front, does anyone doubt we're doing well in U.S. commercial? I mean, all these same skeptics are like, it's like completely ridiculous.
Right.
Now, as you guys heard in that clip, in typical Alex Karp fashion, he couldn't help himself by poking fun and kind of jabbing at all the skeptics out there on Palantir. Now, there are a couple of key things in that interview with Charles Payne that deserve some expansion here. And again, with all the volatility that we're seeing in markets right now, guys, due to either the trade war, FOMC coming up, or even just the fact that we are in a completely new environment than we have been in, with kind of this debt-fueled market over the last few administrations here, and the market is taking some time to get used to this. If you guys can understand the big picture of what's happening with a lot of your different investments there, it makes a lot of that short-term volatility a lot more manageable, because again, information is such a powerful edge to have in the market, and we're going to be expanding on a couple of these things here, while again, obviously looking at the chart. Now, again, guys, these decision makers and these CEOs are not going to come out and directly tell you guys these things, but if you have that analytical capability, which hopefully you guys are starting to kind of learn how to do from a couple of these videos here, it's going to make your job as a long-term investor a lot easier. So just to provide a little bit of a backdrop to make sure we're covering all the bases here, one of the main reasons, or really the main reason, why Palantir sold off so significantly after the rally when they reported their last earnings report was the Pentagon proposed this $50 billion in annual budget cuts, or by about 8% every single year. Now, with Palantir generating, again, in the fourth quarter of 2024, about $343 million of revenue from government contracts. And when you take a look at their total revenue right here, $558 million. Obviously, a significant portion of the revenues here are coming from the government sector. Now, if the government, and especially defense, is looking to cut a lot of that spending, well, that obviously could hurt Palantir's top line. And that is also what you are starting to see with a couple of these other companies here as well. There's an article right here. Their opinion is why they're buying Palantir after confounding Wall Street reaction to MongoDB. But what really happened with this report here is that MongoDB lost a significant amount of their revenue, their high margin revenue, that was coming from the government sector. Now, the important thing to think about here, and the thing that Alex Karp keeps hinting at, and he's done this in a couple of different interviews, is he will come out and say, do with that information whatever you will. And he'll kind of hint at the fact that he believes, and I think there's a really strong argument for this, that the Palantir product and what they are able to do for any of their clients is far superior to anything else out there on the market, that if there are going to be cuts that happen in this specific sector with these types of analytical technologies and services that the government is buying, that Palantir is probably not going to be one of them, because that is such an integral part of what the government wants to accomplish in any one of these sectors here. Now, again, guys, Palantir has been around for a significant period of time, and there have been reports and stories in the past that they were a pretty large, I would say, contributing factor to, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but when Osama bin Laden was assassinated. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ding me for that. You never know with the YouTube algorithms. But if you have that long lasting of a relationship with the United States government, and your technology has continuously gotten better and better and better over the years, you have different products for different things, you're able to use your technology to kind of fit directly with what your customer needs, well, then Palantir's technologies and all of their products are probably not going to be on the chopping block when Doge comes around to some of these different cuts. Now, guys, this isn't just me sitting here speculating and saying, oh, hopefully Palantir continues to get their government contracts and maybe they won't be on the chopping block in the coming months when Doge really kind of ramps up and tries to continue slashing a lot of this government spending. Palantir is still receiving new government contracts, and I don't think you guys have seen this one yet, or not a lot of you guys have seen this one, but this is a pretty interesting one here. So the date signed here was March 14th, 2025. The amount is about $58 million with an option to extend to about $97 million. The ultimate completion date is going to be in 2027 in September, so about 2.5 years. And who is this for? U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So this is ICE here. So Palantir has a new ICE contract, and as you guys can see, legal business name here, entity information, Palantir Technologies. So again, Palantir is a company that is still getting new government contracts, and most likely, when you listen to the hints that Alex Karp is giving us there, is probably not going to be on the chopping block like a lot of those other companies, just due to the fact that, one, they have a very, very long-lasting relationship with the U.S. government, and two, they believe their technology is far superior and their products are far superior to anything else in the market and are better able to meet their customers' needs. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about here with you guys is the chart of Palantir. So for those of you guys that have been paying attention to these videos here, you guys would know that we were looking at a potentially aggressive short-term bearish setup on Palantir. For those of you guys that didn't know that, make sure you guys turn on notifications for the YouTube channel, because when we did break that 79 area, you did see that significant move down to about that 74.50 area there. But As we had said as well, this area back in here was probably going to serve as a pretty strong area of demand, again, unless the market's bottom just completely dropped out of it and it continued to aggressively move to the downside there. But with what we're seeing on Palantir now, those of you guys in the private community with me know exactly what we're going to be looking at next. So today we got a nice opening above that daily 10 exponential moving average there. We came down, retested it, and bounced right off of it. That is a sign of strength. And that's a very, very good thing to see. If we can continue consolidating in a nice range here on Palantir for a few days and then break to the upside of that range, you could be in for a potentially very, very aggressive bullish move coming in the short term there. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the chart for the short term in Palantir. Just to kind of make that a lot simpler there. I mean, I would not be doing this right now, but if you kind of said you are forced to take a trade right now on this, long or short, what would you do? I would probably end up taking a long position on this chart here right now. So guys, that is really going to wrap up this video here. If you did enjoy the information and analysis that I provided for you guys in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. Again, it costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot in spreading this information out to as many people who actually want to learn. And if you never want to miss another video like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're notified every single time these videos do go live. But until next time, guys, I will see you. Peace.